Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, this is a short story, and inshallah, I'm going to be starting debunking the claims that the horn of Satan is in Najd, Saudi Arabia, and that the real horns of Satan is in Iraq, and anything that is east of Iraq, meaning where you know um, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, the false Dajjal, the false prophet, appeared, and the Brelwis and the Sufis and the Rafida and the Diobandis, all these bid'ah sects and innovations and shirki sects appeared, and grave worshipping all appeared from the east. So basically, this is also the claim that the Khawarij, what do the Khawarij link with a Dajjal? And the Dajjal's appearance has to do with the Khawarij, of course. So basically, if you don't know, the first starting of the Khawarij took place in Iraq. The first battle between them and Ali radiallahu anh was in Iraq. So if you go back in a little bit of history, the Khawarij, which went against Ali bin Abi Talib, they were 12,000. Okay, they were a group of 12,000. And they basically left Ali and said that you became kafir, and there is no hukm, there is no judgment or rule except for Allah. So Ali ibn Abi Talib replied to them, كلام حق أريد به الباطل. Words of truth, meaning the words that they quoted from the Quran are true, words of truth in which falsehood was intended, meaning that they wanted to take it out of context. So the Khawarij afterwards raised the Quran, basically on the arrows and the swords, and they basically left Ali, and Ali radiallahu anhu sent to them Ibn Abbas, the Habr al-Ummah, the scholar of the Muslim nation, the great scholar, so that he may debate them, and basically break every doubt that they're trying to raise against him and against the Muslims. So when Ibn Abbas went and debated them, 8,000 of the Khawarij came back to Islam. They came back to the haqq, they came back to the truth because of Ibn Abbas's debate. And there remained actually 4,000. 4,000 left, they remained as Kharijites. From the 8,000, 4,000 were Kharijites. So basically the people said, "Oh Ali, these are 4,000, they're less, why don't you go fight them?" So Ali radiallahu anhu refused, because he says, I will not be killing them unless something new happens, unless they do something bad or another fitna or trial appears, or they do more killing, in which the case needs to be stable and we should basically fight them. So basically the 4,000 that were left of the Khawarij went wandering in the desert. So while they were in the desert, they saw a pig. So one of them, they wanted to kill it, but one of them said, "Why do you want to kill this pig? It has done nothing to you. It did no harm to you. Why are you gonna go kill it?" So they left it and they continued going, and they came basically upon the Sahabi, Abdullah bin Khabbab. He was riding on a donkey with his woman, and she was pregnant. And they came to him and basically asked him, tell us the hadith about tell us the hadith that you heard from your father, which he heard from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which your father heard from the Prophet ﷺ. So he told them the hadith of the Khawarij. And basically this hadith, they got really angry because it explains everything against them. So they asked him, what do you say about Abu Bakr and Umar? So the Sahabi said they are the best of people. He said, what do you say about Uthman? He also says he's the best person. Then they came and said, what do you say about Ali? And he says, Ali, wallahi, he is, basically the, most pious person among us all, right? So they got angry by that and they killed him, and they ripped open his pregnant woman's, stomach, and they killed the baby and they killed her as well. Then they went basically upon a garden of a Christian, and they left him alone. Right? They went and left him alone, and they basically they also went upon a date, and they took a date and they ate it. And then one of them says, "Why are you eating someone's dates from his palm trees without paying him or without asking him permission to eat it?" Right? So basically, they went and started asking, they start asking, the tabi'un or the sahaba or the scholars, that why, what's the ruling on eating a date from this person's, tree? So then the person says, "Woe to you, O Ahl al-Iraq," and this is a hadith you can find in Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari. "Woe to you, O Ahl al-Iraq, woe to you, O people of Iraq. You ask about the minor sins and you commit major sins, right? And basically you're asking about something that's nothing, like eating from a date palm tree and going killing innocents and stealing and doing this and that, going against Ali, rebelling against the rulers, causing fitna trials. You don't ask about that." So basically, till this day, the people of Iraq are known for the deception, treachery, and this is of course not intending racism, but basically every tribe of people has a common characteristics, a type of characteristics that they inherit from their culture, grandfathers, etc., etc. So um, basically, as when they went and they left the Christian alone, they didn't kill the Christian. So this is exactly what it proves, that how the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that the Khawarij يقتلون أهل الإسلام, they kill the people of Islam, ويتركون أهل الأوثان, and they leave basically the pagans or the non-Muslims. They don't do anything to them. And if you look at the ISIS, for example, their leader, what's his name, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, he there's actually a tape where you can listen a recorded voice that he says, "We will not enter Israel after we get rid of all the Arab leaders around us, or all the hypocrites, meaning all the Muslims in the Arab lands, right? The leaders of the Muslims in the Arab lands." He says, "We will kill them first. All we start with them, and then afterwards we'll go and basically kill the Israeli people." So basically, you can see that this is a characteristic of the Khawarij. They rebel against the leaders and they want to kill the Muslims, and they do takfir on them. They call them hypocrites, and basically they say that we need to kill the king of Saudi Arabia and this and that. And in reality, they will gain nothing if they take over all the Arab lands. They will not. They're too cowards to try to attack, Israel or these other lands, or Jews lands, as they claim. So basically, they went afterwards and they in Iraq, and they basically made an attack on the Muslims there. And when they made the attack on the Muslims, they basically stole their animals, took them as war booty, as ghanima, and they basically took them as war booty to use them and have intifa from them. Also, um, where was I? After Ali radiallahu anh, heard this news that the Muslims were being raided and being killed by these Khawarij, he sent the people and he told them the hadith of Rasulullah in As-Sahihain in Bukhari or Muslim, I believe, but it's one of them. I'm sure it's one of them because I've read it. That, killing the Khawarij and fighting them, the person will get a huge reward in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will give him a huge reward for doing so. And he told them basically, and he gave him a maw'idah, and he gave him advice, and he tried to يحرض المؤمنين على القتال, basically calling the people to go and fight the Khawarij. And so they went. And basically, when Ali went, he made a massive killing of the Khawarij, and he won the battle basically. And then he said that he gave the characteristic of this person, that the Prophet Muhammad says that this person, he says he's a black man, he has a cut hand, he has on his elbow basically like white hairs, little white hairs. He said, if you find this person, kill him, or if you see him through the dead bodies, tell me so I can come and see him, right? Because the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad said that أولى الطائفتين بالحق, right? The most people closer to the haqq will kill this person, this guy of the Khawarij, um, this leader. And it does not mean that that one is on the truth and one is not. No, it means one closer to the truth. So both of them are on the truth, but one closer to the truth will be the one to kill him. And he mentioned this hadith, basically it was between Muawiyah and Ali radiallahu anh. So Ali radiallahu anh was closer to the truth than Muawiyah in this case, as the hadith explains. So they went, they searched, they did not find. They came back to Ali, says, we did not find. Ali says, Wallahi, basically, he says, Wallahi, I have not spoken a lie, nor was I lied to. Meaning, nor was I lied to from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, because the Prophet Muhammad said this, so it has to appear. So basically, they went and searched again. They came back to him, they did not find him. So Ali radiallahu anh says, come with me. And so he was leaning on his sword, and he was walking through, and he was saying, lift this person, lift this body, that body of the Khawarij, put him down, lift the other, and then all they found him under the corpses of a lot of bodies. So Ali radiallahu anh, when he saw this, he basically prostrated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as thankfulness. And he said that the hadith that, أولى الطائفتين, the ones who are close to the truth will be the ones who will kill this person. And this person is explained by many people. When he was alive and he was dead, he had a characteristic, like a trait, that he had a very, very bad smell. This Kharijite black person that died, that was killed, he has a very, very bad smell, even when he was alive. So they still smelled that smell when he was dead. So basically by that, basically the 4,000 that were left were killed. So how much did there remain? There remained only 6 persons of the Khawarij. 2 went to Morocco. Until today, more Khawarij are coming from Morocco. 2 went to Oman, which basically Oman, which is east of Yemen, right? Which is known till today, the Ibadis, who were against Ali radiallahu anh. They are the Khawarij, the Ibadis, they call them. And till today, they are known, the people of Oman, that they are, Khawarij, right? And then 2 went to Sajistan, which is in Iran. Until today, the Dajjal will appear from Persia, from Iran. Which is mostly likely that the Dajjal is now these people that went there, they created other groups, which are till today they're known, because they went and spread their ideologies in these areas and created different Kharijite movements, right? Different Kharijite movements with different madhabs, with different ways, right? With different teachings, with different aqidas. So the Dajjal is most likely a Rafidi, a Shi'i, a Majusi, and he's Persian. He's Persian, his nationality is Persian, but his origin was Jewish. So when he was born, first of his life is, his origin was Jewish. And this is what we know, the similarities between the Shias, for example. The similarities between the Shias is that Shiism was created because of the Jew, Abdullah ibn Saba, who came from Yemen. And so by that we see that when Dajjal appears from there, he will, like Taqiyya, like today you see the Taqiyya deception of these people. And a lot of trials as in Iran and Iraq, because of course of the Rafidi and the Persians. And by that we see that the Dajjal, when he first appears, he will claim that he will help the oppressed, and he will basically give people wealth. He will first call for peace, and when people see actually he's doing this, they will believe in him, and he start gaining followers. And then afterwards he'll claim to be a prophet, and when he gains more followers, he will claim to be God afterwards. So the most likely thing is that Dajjal will appear from, as the Prophet said in Sahih Hadith, he will appear between Iraq and Sham, which is from Sajistan, Iran, and between Iraq and Sham, meaning Kurdistan, he will appear from this place as well. So his appearance will be made from that place as well. So this is what we have here, and we have many people claiming that, basically the first battle happened in Iraq, and we still have till today. The battle first took place between the Khawarij and Ali radiallahu anhu in Iraq, which is the fitna is there. The Rafidis, the Mu'tazilas, the Sufis, the Qadiriyas, the ISIS is still there, of course, and the Kuffar are still there, of course, in Iraq. The Jahmis, they all appeared from Iraq, and this is the fitna till today is known for fitna. And when one of the Sahaba were about to pass through during the Battle of the Bridge, one person says, "Ya Aba Ubaid, innahum ahlul makri wal khadi'ah," meaning the Persians are known for their makr, for this deceitfulness, and khadi'ah. And there's also an athar that came, I think in Tabari or in Al-Qurtubi, Qurtubi's Tarikh Al-Qurtubi, I think. It mentions that Umar bin Khattab says, if there was only between you, O Iraqis, and us a mountain of fire in which the Persians would never get to us and we would never get to them. That means we would never mix with them. We'll never see them, they'll never see us, we'll never have any relations with them, no fitness, right? So by this we have to keep that in mind, and basically the killing of Al-Hussein in Karbala has to do in Iraq. The fitnas, the treachery of Ali bin Abi Talib was made also by that. Was also made that basically the Shias betrayed him. Muslim bin Aqil died, also was killed in Iraq because of the Iraqis, the Kufans. When Hajjaj bin Yusuf al-Thaqafi went to Kufa and he gave his first khutbah speech, he says, "Ya Ahl al-Iraq wa ma'din al-shiqaq wa al-nifaq wa mafasid al-akhlaq." Even al-Thaqif, the Arabs, knew. Al-Hajjaj bin Yusuf basically gave a speech. While he was saying the speech, says, "O people of Iraq, O people of, basically shiqaq, basically people of wickedness, wa nifaq, and hypocrisy, wa mafasid al-akhlaq, and ill manners." And after his speech, he came and he saw the killer of Uthman. He was an old man, the killer of Uthman. He didn't know it was him. One of his guards says, "This is the killer of Uthman. He did so and so." And so Ibn Al-Hajjaj bin Yusuf says, "Inna fi qatlika salah al-Muslimin, idribu unuqah." And because basically Uthman radiallahu anhu was from the Umayyads, was from Banu Umayyah, and Hajjaj was, basically the commander of the Umayyads. So he says, "Inna fi qatlik, O you killer of Uthman, by killing you, there is peace for all Muslims." So he said, "Idribu unuqah," so they killed him. And where was the killer of Uthman? In Iraq. So by that we understand that this is the area where it's known as Najd. Musaylim al-Kadhdhab, for example, his origin from Bahrain. The false prophet was from Bahrain, from the east, closer to Iran and Iraq. The fitnas, the Qadianis appeared there, the Brelwis, the Rafidas in Persia, the Qadiriyya in Iraq, the Sufi tariqas all over Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, which is closer to, there goes more and more, and there's shirk also. The Deobandis, the Brelwis, the Naqshbandis, name them as much as you can, the Ahmadis. Yeah, so you can see that this is all the fitna there. This is all the innovation that happened there. Till today, Najd was not known for innovation, was not known for trials in Saudi Arabia, meaning Najd in Saudi Arabia, but Najd in Iraq, as their hadith explaining that the Prophet says, "Oh Allah, bless Sham and Iraq." Bless Sham and Yemen, and not Al-Iraq. He mentioned by name Al-Iraq in the Arabic, because Iraq will be the Qarn al-Shaytan, the horn of Satan. Some also of the ulama did tafsir that when he said Sham and Yemen, he did not mean literally the Levant areas or Yemen. He meant Medina, which is the way to Sham, and Mecca, which is south of Medina, which is the way to Yemen. So even if there is in Muwatta Imam Malik, there is explanation that when one of them said, "Let us go to Asham," and he says, land is not a place for land does not matter if it's a blessed place or that. What matters is a person's religion, his aqidah, etc., etc. So by that we understand that this is Najd, and many tafsirs I have never come across any alim who simply stated that this is Najd in Saudi Arabia, and the majority, the ijma' is that is in Iraq. And the Prophet ﷺ in Sahih Muslim Hadith, he pointed towards Iraq. في جهة العراق. It says in Arabic, في جهة العراق, and he said fitna is there. He said the trials will appear there. So by that we understand, and inshallah I'll be making, inshallah when I have time, I'll be making a refutation for those who call Najdis or Wahhabis or Salafis as Qarn Shaitan. That's what I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.